Pretty exciting. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's fastest half mile. And despite straightaways barely 200 yards long, it's a very fast racetrack. The secret is the variable banking in the 300-yard corners. You may not have much room to accelerate off one corner before shutting down to the next, but with steep banking up to 30 degrees, there's not much loss of speed when you get there. And the all-concrete racing surface provides great traction. With 153,000 seats arrayed in grandstands all the way around the racing surface, Bristol looks more like a football stadium on steroids than a typical racetrack. Veteran drivers have described racing at this East Tennessee Speed Emporium as the equivalent of flying a fighter plane in a gymnasium. So it's not surprising that every NASCAR Cup Series race draws a massive crowd. Still, the best seat in the house is the one behind the wheel. It's sure not a relaxing one, with laps ticking by less than 15 seconds, and the compact nature of the track means there's infield pits on both the front and back straightaways, so drivers had that added complication to deal with. Open for competition in 1961, Bristol has had a number of remodels over the years, and several owners as well. But under its current ownership, Speedway Motorsports, that Bristol has enjoyed its greatest period of growth. Tonight, it's race number 7 of the IROC Challenge Series, and it's next on HBR TV. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at the race details for tonight. It is race number 7 of the season. 200 laps the race distance tonight. Stages will be at lap 50 and 110. Cautions will be thrown subsequently for those stages. Drivers have a full fuel load tonight and 3 sets of tires available over the wall. Weather conditions here at the track: 77-degree ambient temperature, 46% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 2-mile-per-hour breeze, and a track temperature nice and cool, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. May see some very quick times here this evening. So far, a quick time in the warm-up session. To no one's surprise, Kyle Terzak is the quick driver at this point. 15:01 over the 83 of Brandon Mefford at a 15:05. I wouldn't be too shocked if we saw a sub 15-second lap at some point during this race from some drivers. Again, warm-up session just about complete. We opened up the live feed early this evening to show you guys the practice session and a little bit of qualifying. We'll continue to do that moving forward unless told otherwise, but figure we'd give you guys at least some extra insight as to what goes on a race evening. Under a minute before we complete the warm-up session, we'll get right into our starting grid and subsequently the green flag. talked a moment ago about possibly seeing a 14-second or a sub-15-second lap here tonight. You look at that timing tower there, Turzak on the 15:01, just about a hundredth shy of being below 15 seconds. I'm sure that's on his mind. Of course, he wants to go out and win this race. So there you see it. Clock is at 0 here on the warm-up. Black and red flags on the session. And that's going to do it here from Bristol. We'll get right into our starting grid here in just a moment. In fact, let's go to it right now and take a look at the starting grid for race number 7 of the IROC Challenge Series for Bristol. On the pole position with a lap time of 15.027 seconds, Kyle Turzak. Outside front row, Charity Motorsports entry, the number 83 of Brandon Mefford. Row number 2, it's Troy Radford and Brian McCann. Row 3, it's Mike Koch and Neil Quick. 7th starter, it's Timmy Schofield with Brian Rose rolling off to his right elbow in the 8th spot. 9th will be Josh Funkhauser. 10th goes to Brett Butler. 11th starter is Garrett Johnston in the number 15. Doug Wysocki. The 34 will roll off from the 12th spot. 13th starter, it's the 4 of Nuke Quick. Adam Benefill, the number 9, will start 14th. 15th starter is the 84 of Matt Kopp. Todd Kleek will roll 16th. Zachary Kleek 17th, and 18th goes to Larry Bruner. 19th starter is the 5 of Trevor Quick with Josh Stewart starting 20th. 21st goes to Jared Wiedner, the number 99, and shotgun on the field. Last, but certainly not least, the number 51 of Chris Wally. It's your starting grid from Bristol. Field starting to roll here, 1 of 2 pace laps before we get things rolling here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Got to welcome everybody in once again to both IROC TV and HBR TV, dual streaming to both platforms here each and every Monday night. Again, both stream chats are available, so don't be too concerned about that. If you want to check us out, either platform, IROC TV or HBR TV, we'll try to tune in with you guys, talk to you. If you want to talk to us, we're happy to do so. Please feel free to enter the stream chat. Just keep it PG for the kids. Field work in the back straightaway here. Going to see the green flag momentarily. See if a red-hot Kyle Turzak can take yet another checkered flag, or if a Brandon Mefford, a Radford, or a Brian McCann can knock him off the top spot. But here we are. Green flag is in the air. We're racing from Bristol Motor Speedway. One in the books. Kyle Turzak maintains the top spot, puts a couple 3-car lengths on the 83 of Brandon Mefford. Already a slow car just ahead of Turzak. It's Matt Kopp. I don't know if Kopp had to serve a pre-race penalty. That might be the reason why he's at the tail of the field so quickly, but nonetheless, Turzak going to reel him in a hurry here. Got to be careful. Checking the backside of the top 5, Mike Cook in the 5th position in the 0-0. One driver out of shape, it's Brett Butler. I don't know if that was just a harsh move to the inside or if he's trying to save the race car, but nevertheless keeps his foot in the throttle and continues on. Josh Funkhauser in the 10th position, the number 81, that dark gray and orange machine working around the outside of the 4. That's Nuke Quick on the bottom. Quick gets clear, comes across the nose. Funkhauser going to switch lanes here, trying to cross him over, but to no avail. Outside of Funkhauser now is the 15 of Garrett Johnston. Funkhauser is in defense mode, trying to protect those positions. It's still pretty early here at Bristol. Board with Funkhauser, battling with Garrett Johnston. Funkhauser gets gets clear, but another run from the 15. Nowhere to go with it. Meanwhile, Zachary Cleek hounding the 81 as well. You can hear the drivers lift out to the throttle for the corner as to be expected, but they're not out of the gas for very long before they're right back in the throttle. Back up front, Terzak still with the race lead. A couple of car lengths between himself and Brandon Meffert. Neil Quick up 3 positions in the 3rd spot, just ahead of Brian McCann and the 00 of Mike Cook. Terzak laying down some quick laps already, a 15:11 for the 051 machine. It continues to lead this race. Meffert still in the 2nd spot, but Neil Quick closing in just a few feet off the back bumper of the 83. It's right on board with the 2. Tries to reel in and eventually put some pressure on the 83 of Meffert. That would be for the 2nd position. And we're at the driver's eye camera here with Neil Quick. The camera built into the helmet of the driver of the number 2 machine. .00 of Mike Cook battling with the 94 of Troy Radford. Cook was up into that top 5. Radford has taken it away. I think Cook's trying to just get settled in instead of getting freight trained on the outside. But here comes Timmy Schofield, the number 12 machine. He's right there. We've got a slow car down low. I think it's Doug Wysocki. Doug may have had an issue out of the racetrack that has injured that number 34 machine. He's a little bit off the pace as everyone's trying to scatter to the outside. Todd Cleek going to hit pit road. A little bit of right front damage on the 45 machine. Let's see if we can get a look at the Doug Wysocki incident. It slowed his pace. So it's just a handful of laps to go. Oh, he gets clipped. A little loose on exit, then across the nose of the 45. Stayed low enough on the racetrack to not bring out a caution. Tough break for Doug this early on. Meanwhile, Brandon Meffert has managed to hang on to that 2nd spot. Neil Quick was right there pressuring, but now Quick's got to go to defense mode. He's got Brian McCann taking a look to the inside. McCann tucks back in behind. He's still right on board with Neil Quick on the window net camera. McCann taking a look to the inside. Pretty early on here, so they're already 25 laps in. But Quick not pressuring, not being too aggressive. No chop blocks on the 3, but still manages to maintain the position over the 3 car of Brian McCann. Brian's a little bit faster though. You can see he's right there. Gets the run through the middle of 3 and 4. Dives into the bottom of the racetrack once again. This is the battle for the 3rd position. Brian McCann, the blue and yellow number 3 to the bottom. Up top, the number 2 of Neil Quick. Reminds me of old Dale and Rusty battling here at Bristol Motor Speedway back in the day. Dale and Rusty both so good at this place. This battle for the 3rd spot just not going away. Brian McCann's got to be careful, though, because Troy Radford is in behind. He's got some pace as well. McCann tries to drop it back to the inside lane once again. Neil Quick rides up top of the racetrack, or at least mid-portion of the racetrack. Still carries more momentum on corner exit. That's how he's defending that spot for the time being. We look at the lap times. Last time by, McCann was actually over a 10th faster than Quick, but parts of the racetrack that it needs to be faster, he just can't do it because he's stuck there on the below side of the racetrack. Meanwhile, Radford, he's going to go way up top. He might go around both of these guys if Neil Quick isn't careful. Maybe a crossover. Radford gets clear. McCann now to the inside of Neil Quick. This for the 3rd spot. Radford in one lap might get 2 spots. And he does. Troy Radford gets clear. Neil Quick, but a crossover coming. Neil looking to the inside, cross the start-finish line. Radford keeps it up top of the racetrack. Now Brian McCann's going to try and follow the 94 on by, see if this is going to work out. They've both kind of suckered Neil Quick to the bottom of the racetrack here, and it looks like they're both going to take that position from the 2. Don't know if that was the plan or if that was just something they kind of noticed, but nevertheless, Troy Radford and Brian McCann, the benefactors, 3rd and 4th. Neil Quick from 3rd back to 5th. Quick now back to the 7th position, shedding some positions. I don't know if he's just trying to save. And we do have a stage break coming at the end of lap 50. That's only less than 12 laps away here for these guys. I don't see any reason why Quick would be too concerned about saving his stuff, especially with 3 full sets of tires over the wall, plus the set on the race car currently. So 4 sets to get it done here. More than enough tire. Battle for position once again. Tim Schofield in the number 12. He's to the inside of the 84. Now the 84, Matt Kopp, he's actually running 17th, so he's not on the lead lap. Mike Cook, the 00. He is a lead lap car. That's the 5th position between him and Schofield. We saw just a moment ago, Brian Rose had a near miss with the 84. Almost has it again as Kopp gets into the fence. Rose gets clear. The 4, Newt Quick, a little loose on exit. He manages to save it. And there it is. Newt Quick this time doesn't save it.
Yes, they'll take a Captain Morgan and Diet Coke.
Brings us under the caution flag. Now, lap 43, I don't know if this is going to be our stage break or not. It is pretty close to that lap 50 mark, but I think we'll get this restarted before then. It might only be a lap or 2 for the stage. I think it's really going to come down to the discretion of the admins as to whether or not they make this the stage. I don't know if anybody's listening out there, but if they do provide the information to make this the stage, I would much appreciate that so I can pass that information along to the viewers. Again, stream chat's awful quiet, guys. We had Mike Cook in here earlier. He said good luck. That was on the HBR TV side. Nothing from the IROC TV side. So again, feel free, guys. Stream chat's open. No pressure. But it certainly makes it more fun. So let's see if we can figure this out here. Newt Quick having a problem on the racetrack. This might have been lap 29. We'll watch this and then we'll watch the most recent incident. Quick just having some struggles out there. Real loose. Gets it crossed up. Doesn't go all the way around here. Saves the car. A decent save. But once you get those right rear tires hot like that, it's going to increase the likelihood of it happening again. So we'll look at the incident that put us under the yellow here. This is Newt Quick again. We watched this part of it. He was very slow off of 4 after getting it sideways. But coming back to the banking, he loops it again, this time in traffic, and it was enough for the flag man to throw the yellow flag. So behind the iRacing pace car, it's Kyle Terzak, Brandon Mefford, Troy Radford, Mike Cook, and Tim Schofield. That's your top 5. Again, 45 laps in. These drivers, they can take tires every 50 laps if they so choose. They'll be in good shape to the end. But no one really, for the most part, at least within the top 14 drivers, have opted to come down pit road, at least this time. Oh, maybe Garrett Johnston and Brian McCann were too. Everybody else looks like they stayed out. That's going to kind of tell me that I think they're going to let this thing restart prior to the stage end. We'll find out, I guess. We get to the end of lap 50. If the caution comes out, that'll be your answer. And if it doesn't come out, well, that'll be your answer too. And let's see, we got Backwoods Mafia SR in the stream chat. Says, how you doing tonight, Steve? Thanks for checking in, Backwoods Mafia. We're doing well, even though it's a Monday. Yes, the 83 has a sweet paint scheme. That's probably one of my favorite schemes out there. I don't know, I'm a big fan of the colored chrome. Pace car hits pit road. Terzak and Mefford front of the field as the green comes back out. Schofield up to gut, went 3 wide for a moment. Up into the 4th position. Now Mike Cook and Neil Quick going to battle it out for the 5th position. Just about quarter distance here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's see here. We're going to come to lap 50 in just a moment. Terzak, your race leader here. If this indeed is the stage, then he's going to be your stage winner if he hasn't already. Back to start finish. And there it is. That is the official stage end. The end of lap 50. Kyle Terzak, Brandon Mefford, Troy Radford, Tim Schofield, Mike Cook, the top 5. Neil Quick, Brian Rose, Josh Funkhauser, Jarrett Wiedner, and Adam Benefiel, the top 10. Terzak continuing his season of dominance. Multiple wins thus far. So your lead lap driver is going to come down pit road this time. Here comes Terzak, Mefford, Radford, Schofield, Mike Cook. Terzak in the pit box. Terzak one of only 2 drivers to win a race this season. The other was James Pileski, but he hasn't made an appearance here in the last couple of races. So 4-tire stop for Terzak. I find that interesting. So Brian McCann gets out ahead of the rest of these guys that did not make their pit entry during the last caution prior to the stage. So McCann, his lap was lap 44 for the pit stop. So was Brent Butler, Garrett Johnston. Chris Wally was 45. Larry Bruner was 44. Everybody else made their time, made their pit stop during this stage break. So we're going to try and get Terzak into the booth here. He's probably getting tired of talking to me, but Kyle Terzak and Steve with HBR TV. You got a copy?
Sir.
Kyle, you got to be getting tired of talking to us. You've won a bunch of stages and all but one race this season, continuing the dominance here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We saw some guys pick up the pace in practice comparatively, but you think there's anybody out there that can knock you off that top spot here tonight, or you got this one in the bag already?
Definitely not. You know, this is going to be a long 90 laps of this last stage here. I see Brian pitted before this yellow came out, so it looks like he's going for wins, not stage points. So, great group of guys here. You know, this is their type of track. I'm not used to this at all. So, definitely a learning experience, but I think we're getting there.
All right, Kyle. Well, so far, so good. Wish you the best of luck the rest of the way. Maybe we'll talk to you in another 90 laps.
Thank you.
It's Kyle Terzak, your stage winner. He's going to restart from the 7th position. He made a comment about Brian McCann kind of choosing a different strategy, opting for some track position. McCann, very smart in the fact, knowing that we're going to get that stage break, says, you know what, I'm going to try something different. We're going to pit before the stage. And he had that opportunity during the caution. I know sometimes you'll see that happen on the bigger racetracks. They'll short pit the stage knowing they won't lose a lap. Got lucky in this case with the caution. McCann not racing for points. He wants those checkered flags and trophies. So pace car lights are out. Lap 57 will be the restart lap. Ryan McCann and Brent Butler are going to lead him to green.
Green, green, green.
To the early lead from the restart. Butler tucks into the 2nd spot. Garrett Johnston 3rd. Brian Rose 4th. And Brandon Mefford now 5th. Wally runs in the 6th position. Schofield 7th. Terzak slipped 1 spot to 8th. Won't be long though. In behind the 12 of Schofield. We'll see if he can work his way back towards the front. Track position is key. Even if you're really fast at these places, you really got to time those runs. We've seen it in many cases. You got to look to the outside, carry that momentum, get to the outside. That's the hard part. Meanwhile, out front, Ryan McCann still your race leader. Butler in the 2nd spot. Garrett Johnston really putting the pressure on the 76 machine as that's for the 2nd position. Johnston a lane up from the 76 machine, back to start finish, carried the run off of turn 4, right to the back bumper in turn 1 and 2. Brian Rose now half a car length off the back bumper of Garrett Johnston. This will be now for the 3rd position. Johnston maybe changing his plan of attack from, well, offense to defense with the 89 of Rose closing the gap. Then again, maybe the 76 is what's slowing him down. I gotta say though, when I look at this 76 machine, I know usually the IROC series runs common template paint schemes. This number 76 reminds me of an old Dave Marcus paint scheme. I know there's no logos on it, but I just got to see. I think it was either Red Apple or the Big Apple, and I Love New York scheme. Maybe that was a one-off for Watkins Glen. I don't recall. It was years back. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there in that 76. If it was a 71, man, I'd be all over that. On board with Brian McCann, looking back at the rest of the top four. Off in the distance, you see the fifth place machine. That's Brandon Mefford. It looks like he's in a battle with Kyle Turzak, as Turzak's picked up a couple of spots since the restart. Let's watch that battle. You get harder and harder to pass, the closer and closer to the front you go. See if that remains to be the case. On board with the 83 of Brandon Mefford, the Charity Motorsports entry. Turzak opened up the wheel a bit more off at 2, trying to get to the outside of Mefford. Didn't have enough of a run to really do it. Turzak's going to stick the nose in. No, not enough. Still the battle continues. This for the 5th position. He gets into Mefford. Mefford spins. Not quite complete there. There it is. Now he gets hard impact to the inside wall. Tim Schofield gets into this as well. That battle is hot and heavy with Kyle Turzak and Brandon Mefford. Leaders coming back through. And Mefford just gingerly catches the right rear of Turzak's machine. Well, let's get another look at it. We saw it kind of shaping up here as we watched this battle for that position for quite some time. This was down into turn number 1. Mefford's already started his turn in, so is Turzak, but Turzak just gets the nose to the inside left rear of Mefford, clips the left front, almost straightens Mefford back out. Schofield comes in, gets a piece of him as well. It sends the 12 around. Troy Radford's going to get into this as well. Big time hit for the 83. We got Eddie Rose in the stream chat. Eddie Rose with his typical stream chat trivia with the question of who is the driver that made the quote, Bristol, baby. It's Bristol, baby. Who made that famous? Well, I know. I know who said it. A lot of people say it now. Everybody says it now. I'll give you a clue. He's a 2-time Daytona 500 winner. And a Hall of Famer. Last clue, does not have a Cup championship. All right, one more clue. Has 2 Xfinity Series championships. So let's see. Mike Cook says, my tire management sucks. Crew chief said I had 30% left. Well, it's a good thing you got 3 sets of tires there, Mike, because you're ripping the tires off of that thing. Mike the 00, still on the lead lap, though. New colors on that machine this week. Backwoods Mafia has it right, I believe. He says Dale Jr. Eddie Rose, it's your trivia. You can confirm it, but I'm going to say yes, sir.
Hot going. 1 to go.
They've waved off the restart. Going to go one more lap. Turzak's going to pull to the inside here. I don't know if he's just taking responsibility or was issued this penalty. It's very common, especially in the short track series. They don't judge intent. It's not a matter of did you do it on purpose or not. If you cause the caution, you're going to the back. That's just how they do it in a lot of these late model stock style series. Looks like that's going to be the case here as well. So one more lap around before we go back green. It'll be lap 79 when we get the restart as the official iRacing pace car lights have been extinguished. Front row is going to be McCann and Butler. Again, Garrett Johnston, Brian Rose, 3rd and 4th. 5th is Jarrett Wiedner. Chris Wally, 6th. Larry Bruner, 7th. Adam Benefill, 8th. 9th, Neil Quick. Newt Quick is 10th. 11th, Mike Cook. Troy Radford, 12th. 13th, Doug Wysocki. Kyle Turzak back in the 14th position. First car. Last car on the lead lap.
Green flag.
These cars in. Green flag back in the air. Position by any means. Larry Bruner to the outside of Neil Quick, or Neil Quick to the inside of Larry Bruner. Nevertheless, they're side by side off turn number 2. Quick gets clear of the 44. Benefill's going to try and follow him through. Neil up the racetrack, slides across the nose of the 44. Benefill gets to the inside of Bruner as well. Here comes the 77 machine is Zach Kleek. Kleek not on the lead lap, but gets to the inside of Bruner nonetheless, trying to make his way back, trying to get a lap back. Out front, McCann still with the lead. A car length back to the 76 of Butler. Length and a half to Garrett Johnston in 3rd. Brian Rose hanging tough in the 4th position. Started 8th today. Showing a little bit of right front damage on the number 89 machine. But again, we've seen this a couple of times on these short tracks that pushing that right front fender ahead of the tire is not always a detriment. You're putting a little more air on that right front tire as far as cooling is concerned. You may be able to keep that right front a little bit cooler. Remember, we saw Martin Truex Jr. win a race. I think it was Bristol. It might have been Martinsville, but same situation. Right front tire was almost completely exposed. Kept that thing nice and cool throughout the long run, and he went on to victory. Chris Wally going around the outside of Jarrett Wiedner. This for the 5th spot. Wiedner going to battle back down low. To no avail. Tucks in behind the 51, and Wally's starting to put some distance between himself and the 99. Wally having a strong run to this point. He's up 17 positions. Remember, he started dead last on the field here tonight. Meanwhile, back up front, Brian Rose right to the back bumper of Garrett Johnston. This would be for the 3rd spot. Johnston slips up the racetrack, opens the door for Rose, but Rose nowhere to go just yet. Still to the inside, tiptoeing on that line of contact. You've got to be careful with these cars. It does not take much to send the guy sideways and then backwards. Slightest bit of contact, these late model stock cars just do not want to stick when they get pushed. A little bit of contact and loosens Johnston up, and Johnston goes around. Caution comes out. Rose takes the 3rd spot, but I don't know how that one's going to play. Rose may end up at the back of the pack for that one. Back it up here just a bit. I don't know how much contact, but there was certainly some. We're right on board here with Brian Rose. So, from that perspective, here's the way I look at that. Now, Brian Rose has hit pit road here. But my guess is he thinks he's going to the back anyway, so he might as well pit. But we'll back up to the incident itself. You saw Rose get in there, made a little bit of contact, but then he didn't lift. I think if he made the contact, checked up for a hair, and then went back to the gas, he'd have been okay. And honestly, I don't think he would have wrecked the 15 if that was the case. But he got into the back bumper, got into the back bumper a second time, and then lifted, but by then too late. Rose is still in the pits here. I don't know if he's going to get held. And there he goes, 37.68 seconds in the box for Brian Rose. I don't know if that was a planned situation for the 89 or if he had a different problem, but nevertheless. Back out of the racetrack, further back in the running order. He's shown as 14th. That may change as we cycle everybody through. Just a handful of laps shy of halfway. Brian McCann remains out in front. Kyle Terzak took the opportunity to pit once again. Came down at lap 94 just a couple of laps ago. Let's go down the running order once again here as we get ready for another restart. It's Brian McCann, Chris Wally be on the front row, Jarrett Wiedner, Neil Quick, Adam Benefill, Nuke Quick, Mike Cook, Garrett Johnston, Brent Butler, Kyle Terzak, Doug Wysocki, Brian Rose back to 12th, Tim Schofield 13th, and Troy Radford 14th. Have done some moving around here. The Radford machine now up to 12th. It looks like Rose is going to go to the back for this. While we get ready for another restart, field doubled up. Pace car makes the hard left down pit road. Barney the flag man waves the green, and we're back racing once again. Out to an early jump. Wally does not get a great restart. Neil Quick now trying to take advantage of that. He looks to the inside as Wally's up the racetrack off turn number 4. Back to start finish, maintains the second position. This the battle for P2. Now behind them, Jarrett Wiedner in the 99 takes the spot away from the 4 of Quick. Quick drops it back down to the bottom of the racetrack in front of Garrett Johnston. And then behind them, Adam Benefill and Kyle Terzak. They are fighting now for the 7th position. Wally and Wiedner now side by side as the 99 goes up into that 3rd position. A little bit faster. A little bit fresher tires for the 99. Now Wally's got Garrett Johnston to the outside, but here comes Kyle Terzak. Gets to the bottom of the racetrack, clears the 4 of Quick. Quick tries to dive it down to the bottom of the racetrack. Terzak's wise to it, sees him there. Now the 51, the 051 that is, in a better position, being up top side, can carry more momentum. It's really the place to be to defend a position, and honestly, you can make passes up there as well. Terzak's shown an ability to do that top and bottom. Oh, Wally real slow on the exit at turn 4 there. Almost jammed up the 051 of Terzak. Kyle to the bottom of the racetrack. Chris Wally up top. It's the battle of the 51 machines. Terzak the 051, Wally the 51. Seven laps in of 200 here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Chris Wally gets into the back of Kyle Terzak. Just a little hey, hi, how are you? Terzak continues on. Now Wally's going to work with with Nuke Quick in the 4. So Terzak back into the top 5 and looking for more. So tries to reel in Garrett Johnston. We're going to step aside real quick. Get our side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. You won't miss a moment of the action. We'll be back after this.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
We'll get that side-by-side break out of the way later. Stage break, lap 110. It went to Brian McCann. Then it was Neil Quick, Jarrett Wiedner, Garrett Johnston, Terzak was 5th. Then Chris Wally, Troy Radford, Nuke Quick, Adam Benefill, and Brent Butler. That's your top 10 for stage number 2. So we'll sit close here for the time being. Looks like everybody's going to make the opportunity here to come down pit road. Brian McCann, Neil Quick, Jarrett Wiedner, Garrett Johnston, Troy Radford. Terzak stays out. Remember, he came down at lap 94. McCann cleanly into his pit stall. Least right side tires going on. This track really chews up that right front. Does McCann go with 4? Yeah, he's going to put 4 on. Now is the time, I guess, under the caution flag. May opt for just rights later or just fuel only. We'll see. So Brian McCann down and away. Brian McCann, the winner of stage 2. Let's see if we can pull driver the number 3 machine up into the broadcast booth and get a word with our stage winner. Brian McCann, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got us?
Hey, I do. How's it going?
Brian, congratulations. A stage 2 win. It seems like you and Terzak kind of trading blows as far as those stage wins are concerned. You got anything for the finish of this race? Get a first win of the season for the 3?
Well, I think I did. So that caution came out before the second stage. I was hoping it would run all the way to that lap 110. But unfortunately, it didn't work out for me, so I got a few people in front of me I got to pass here.
Well, we certainly wish you the best of luck the rest of the way, Brian. Remind me, what channel were you in so I can put you in the right home?
You know it, number 3.
There it is. Brian McCann, your stage 2 winner. Race channel number 3, just like the namesake on the door. It is the 3 machine after all. So through that exchange, Terzak's going to take the top spot because he stayed on the racetrack. But that's going to give Brian McCann about 18 lap newer tires. I don't know if it's going to really make a huge difference. Then again, it might. We've seen some guys are really chewing up their stuff after only 50 laps. We've got plenty of racing left before this one's over. Certainly another pit stop likely to come. And again, for those of you that were watching our HBR TV side-by-side break, we will get to that later. Once we're back green flag racing, we'll give that a shot. By mistake, going to that break just before our stage end.
No go, no go. Going next time.
Officials have waved off the green here. We're going to try it the next time by. So this time it looks like it will be Kyle Turzak and Brent Butler, your front row. Brian Rose, Brian McCann, Jarrett Wiedner, the top 5. Mike Cook, Garrett Johnston, Neil Quick, Troy Radford, and Doug Wysocki rounding out the top 10 here. Pace car lights should go out. There it is. So on the 1 to go, it'd be lap 118 when we restart this race. Field out of turn number 4. Barney with the green in hand, and we're back racing once again. Turzak with the lead off turn 4 to complete the restart. Now we watch the battle for the second spot. Brian Rose gets to the inside of Brent Butler, the number 76, the Blue Machine up top. In behind them, it's McCann and Wiedner. McCann working the outside of the 99. Rose having a good showing thus far, still sits alongside the 76 of Butler. And just as he gets clear, the caution comes out. Mike Cook and Newt Quick involved in this.
The part that I'm mainly concerned about.
45 a cleat backing down the racetrack as well as he clips the pace car. That's okay, you can drive right through those. Let's see what happened. This starts a little bit ahead of the replay, so we'll back it up a little further here out of turn 4. Looks like Newt Quick comes off the corner, up the bottom of the racetrack. And you see him here, he's just not clear of the 00. Gets into Mike in that 00, that white and yellow car, up against the wall. Turns the 4, nose first into the safer Barry, and they carry into the turn number 1 here. Not sure exactly where the 45 comes into this mess, but I think we're going to find out right here. Benefill not checking up for the wrecked cars, just sends the 45 in, and he gets a big piece of this as well. Actually puts the 45 on his lid, or almost on his lid. Josh Stewart comes in after and adds insult to injury. And with this caution, we've got Eddie Rose in the chat again with more trivia. It says, who won the 79 April Fool's Day race? And it was his first win. Yeah, that's digging deep. 79. I'm just going to guess. I'm going to guess that it was Buddy Baker. And maybe it was Talladega? I don't know. I'm really going out on a limb. I don't actually know. Either Baker or Childress. I don't know. I think Childress was an owner at that point. I don't think he was even racing anymore. Maybe. I don't know. Let's give it to us, Eddie. What's the answer? Well, I looked it up, and I was close. The winner of the race wasn't Buddy Baker, but Baker did sit on the pole. The winner of the race was Dale Sr. And it was at Bristol, not Talladega. And would you believe it? Only 26,000 fans were in attendance. It's probably a good crowd for back in the day, seeing as how the place, I think it can still hold 200,000, maybe 156,000 after they removed some seats. Guess Eddie's on the Earnhardt trivia tonight. All right, here we go. Pace car back in. Let's try it again. Green flag back in the air. Terzak with a great jump. Now Brian Rose settles into the second position. Remember, he got clear of Butler. See if he can hold off to 76. But again, you get a hard charge in Brian McCann. Working the high side of the racetrack. Butler taking a peek to the inside as Rose goes up the racetrack. Opens the door for Butler. And again, you see it. Carries that speed on corner exit. Being up a lane or two. It's the way to go for Brian Rose. Terzak maintains the top spot. McCann, though, on a mission. Up to fourth now. Oh, and Brian Rose just nails the 76 of Butler. We got a big wreck here on the straightaway. It's out of turn 4. Rose right hooked the 76 hard. Brian Rose going to take it to pit lane. Butler still sits on the racetrack just trying to get clear of the scene. I'll watch it here. This is on the exit. He's just an inch not clear. Monster hit for the 76. Brian McCann gets a piece of this as well, as he was running fourth at the time. Let's watch it in real time here. It's very slight contact, but he wasn't quite clear. Again, full speed Brian Rose. Yeah, that's Bristol, baby. That's for sure. So I remind everybody there are no fast repairs in this series. See the 45. Todd Cleek dog tracking like crazy down pit lane, trying to get it righted. That car's in a bad way, certainly not race worthy. So Terzak was able to get clear of that. Neil Quick now up to the second spot. Schofield third. Chris Wally fourth. Doug Wysocki now fifth. Definitely a big hit for Butler. Let's watch it from his perspective. Full speed here as he gets clipped. you're in the cockpit of that thing. You're just waiting for it to end, and it just doesn't seem like it's gonna. He almost made it back to turn 1. Sorry, that's turn 3, but you get the idea. So, lap 134. We still haven't done the side-by-side. We'll get there in a minute. Pace car is in.
Flag.
Big time battle here at the tail end of the top 10. Larry Bruner, Josh Stewart fighting it out. The whole world in behind him. Well, now's as good as time as any, folks. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC series. Kyle Steffens, UMP Modified and Silver Crown driver. And Gordy Gundaker, World of Out. Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, green flag in the air. Terzak still with the race lead. Now over Neil Quick and Doug Wysocki. Mike Cook is fourth. Chris Wally runs fifth. Tim Schofield back in the ninth position. He's the last car on the lead lap. Brian McCann, even through the incident, has stayed on the lead lap, but that race car a little worse for wear than it was. Mike Cook goes to the inside. Wysocki up the racetrack. The 34 loses at least one spot. Looks like it's going to be two. Chris Wally gets clear, but he's got to run. He takes a look to the bottom side on the 00 as well. Remember, Mike Cook, the 00, made mention early on that he was burning up his right front tire considerably throughout the run, unable to really take care of it the way he needs to. These cautions, though, might be helping him quite a bit. Meanwhile, we got a battle for the race lead. Terzak and Neil Quick. Quick to the bottom of the racetrack. The number 2 machine putting the attack on. There's a little bit of right front damage on the 051 of Terzak. Maybe that's affecting him. Maybe it's not. Slides up the racetrack, opens the door again, but has the run on corner exit. Quick stays right in the tire tracks. Neil Quick now a car length and a half off the back bumper of Kyle Terzak. Coming to 50 laps to go. Terzak, an unstoppable force this season. Only one race, he did not win. It was won by James Pileski. Pileski, however, has not been here the last couple of races. Brandon Mefford slides up the racetrack, lets the leaders continue to fight it out. The battle for the top spot calming down slightly, but we got bigger battles here for third as Chris Wally gets to the inside. Mike Cook up the racetrack. Wally now to third. Radford's going to try and take the fourth position away. And Brian McCann, he might say, you know what, I'm going to follow you guys. I like what's going on here. Move Brian McCann or not. No, Radford still not quite clear of the 00 of Mike. Cook, real slick off turn number 2 as Brandon Mefford drops it down to the apron. Mike Cook just shedding positions. Larry Bruner by himself there in the 8th position. Timmy Schofield back in 9th, the last car on the lead lap. And back out front, Terzak with the lead now over Neil Quick, and it's starting to expand. We're 5-6 car lengths back to the 2. Chris Wally solidly into the top 3 for the time being. Troy Radford is in behind, but Radford's got some damage on the right front. Let's go on board with Chris Wally. Take a look. Radford's front end doesn't look pristine, but it's not as bad as it looked a moment ago. Still 9 cars on the lead lap. A lot of attrition here tonight. The race started off very clean. We've had a rash of cautions here in the final stage. Got 41 laps to go. Terzak out in front. Oh, trouble. The 84 goes around. Matt Kopp spins it down to the bottom of the racetrack, keeps it out of traffic. We stay green for the time being. It's Let's get a better look at it. Did he have any help? It was close. Again, there's some damage on that 84 machine. This is off turn 4. No, that's a different incident altogether. Oh, here it is. Chris Wally gets into the back before they get to the corner. Wally had a big run. Again, Wally running in the 3rd spot. Matt Kopp running 12th. But we stay green. Turzak getting into some lap traffic. The 03 is Stewart. We'll see if this lap car gives Neil Quick a bit of an opportunity to close some ground. Stewart up the racetrack. Almost looked like he lost the right front for a minute. He's just getting out of the way, it looks like. Turzak gets clear. Now puts a lap car between himself and Neil Quick. Either way, these top 2 drivers checking out, but the caution is out again. Zachary Kleek, it looks like. Adam Benefield, oh, big time impact. Misses the pit wall on the outside, but hits the inside pit wall right where the crews are standing. I don't know if Zachary Kleek was involved in this technically or not, but let's get a look. This is a 77. This is what the caution indicated, but it looks like the 9 was involved in it first. So we'll back this up. Big time hit. Yeah, Newt Quick is up in the loose stuff in the fence. I don't know if Benefield overreacts and tries to come down the racetrack, but he gets into the 00 of Mike Cook, but then slides up the racetrack. Gets collected by Newt Quick. But then you see him, he spins down the racetrack. He's going to make solid contact with the inside pit wall that protects the pit crews. Some drivers opting to make a pit stop, their final pit stop of the night. Turzak, 10.4 seconds. I'm just going to guess that that's going to be a fuel-only stop. And we're getting a visual here. It looks like Turzak may have crashed after the fact, or does this come into pit road? Let's see what happened here to the 051. He just slow his pace enough to make the system think that he's having a problem. Looks like he's okay there. So let's watch the pit stop here. Turzak coming to pit lane here during this caution. This is the pit stop for our race leader, Kyle Turzak. And he put right sides on for sure, the 051. Back out he goes. So Turzak's going to restart as the race leader. top 8 drivers, the only one still on the lead lap. It's Turzak, Neil Quick, and Brian McCann, Troy Radford, Chris Wally, Doug Wysocki, Larry Bruner, and Tim Schofield. Pace car is in. Green flag back in the air. We're racing from Bristol. Turzak on the jump. Neil Quick, a car length, maybe a car length and a half back. Brian McCann up into the 3rd spot. Troy Radford going to take a peek to the inside. Side by side for the 3rd spot. Brian McCann, the blue and yellow number 3 to the high side. Down low, it's the 94 at Troy Radford. McCann battling back. Turzak off turn number 4. 25 laps to go. Alfie Charon in the stream chat. Where is Brian Rose? And Brian Rose is 19th out of the race after being up in the top 3 when he was involved in a crash. Still watching the 3rd place fight. Radford and McCann. McCann has the preferred lane, but I think he's still nursing a damaged race car. Radford, though, showing a little bit of right front damage as well, so could be an even match here. Still side by side. They have been pretty much since the green flag came back out. McCann maintaining that position to the right side of Troy Radford. Meanwhile, Chris Wally in the 5th spot, closing the gap for both of these drivers. It's going to certainly change the mindset on how they want to approach their battle here momentarily. If Wally gets any closer, he's going to be a threat. In fact, I think it's a threat now because Wysocki's closing in as well as these two, McCann and Radford, continue to fight for position. Side by side, you're going to lose a little bit of pace compared to the guys behind you running single file. Chris Wally now just a few feet off the back bumper of Troy Radford. Choosing the low lane for the time being. I thought Wally was considering a 3-wide move down into turn number 1, but he thinks better of it. Tucks back in behind. Still not clear. Troy Radford remains alongside Brian McCann. Radford still trying to get clear for that 3rd spot. Wants to be on the podium here tonight. The 4 of Newt Quick, a lap car coming into the frame here, might play a part. Nope, Newt goes up top. Gives these guys some room to race. Still side by side. Continue this battle. They've been battling for this position here just about the first lap after the restart. They have not given up. Neither one of them willing to yield to the other. Radford still on the bottom. Brian McCann still trying to work the outside. Meanwhile, Chris Wally getting impatient in behind. Laps are ticking down. You're running out of time if you want to pick up positions. Chris Wally knows that. Right now, he's either going to need to force it 3 wide or use the bumper or take advantage of Matt Kopp, the lap car coming into the frame here. Maybe a pick, maybe not. Nope, Kopp sticks it to the bottom, stays out of the way. Meanwhile, back out front, no battle for Kyle Turzak. Neil Quick is a ways back, probably 10 car lengths at least. Battle still for the 3rd spot. Radford just a nose out in front. McCann battles back around the outside, puts his nose in front of the 94. Off turn number 4. McCann would have had it, but we still got 11 laps to go, so no worry about that. It's just a matter of time. Someone is bound to make a mistake here. Granted, these two drivers, mistakes not typical between the two of them. 5 gets out of the way, but McCann finally gets clear. Sticks it in that third position. Radford fourth. Chris Wally now fifth. Wysocki runs P6. Larry Bruner, Tim Schofield 7 and 8. Got to wonder how much of his stuff did he burn up. Troy Radford, that is, trying to fight with Brian McCann. McCann finally got clear. I don't know if Troy either gave it up and said, go ahead, 3, go get him, or if he just ran out of tire. Nevertheless, he's got Chris Wally breathing down his neck for the 4th position. This, the battle on the racetrack for the highest spot on the racetrack that we've got a battle at least. McCann unchallenged, Neil Quick unchallenged, and Turzak unchallenged. 5 laps to go here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Now 4 laps remaining for Kyle Turzak. Reeling in some more lap traffic. Matt Kopp in the 84. Still the battle for the 4th spot. Things settling down now. 2 laps to go for Kyle Turzak. Turzak takes the white flag. Final lap here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Turzak, a dominant performance out of turn number 4. Sees the checkered flag. Kyle Turzak wins it at Bristol. Neil Quick finishes in the 2nd spot. Brian McCann, strong points night, finishing out in the 3rd position. Fireworks going off outside turn 2. Turzak very happy behind the wheel of that machine. With that, we'll step aside, get a break out of the way, be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marco Scarza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is, and that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
R&R Racewear, your source to all custom racewear apparel needs, and home to iRacing apparel. Check it out today at rnrracewear.com.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, Kyle Turzak with his 6th win of this season, 7 races in, and he's got 6 of them. An awesome run to this point. Almost perfect, certainly the most laps led here this evening. Kyle Turzak and Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Kyle, congratulations, man. This is it's almost getting old, man. 6 wins on the season. You continue to just power through this season. Walk us through your race here tonight. What did it take? I know you were worried about Brian McCann there and his pit strategy at the stage. What did you do differently? I think you tried the similar strategy on stage number 2. Walk us through it.
Yeah, stage number 2 started off really bad. I thought I was under Mefford, and not looking back at it, I wasn't even close. And that made me go back to the rear, and I did some choices I shouldn't have done on the restart, but I let all the guys back by, and on that third stage right there, we had that yellow. I think it was like lap 95 or so. So I came down the pit road and got tires, and on the stage there, I thought I was really screwed because I pushed the entire way. I don't know why to the stage, but I did. But and then we had that huge pileup, which I think that just right there just handed me a whole bunch of advantage right there, and after that, we all pitted together and they battled back there, and I was able to pull away.
Well, it certainly worked out for you, as it has the majority of the season. Again, 7 races in, 6 wins in the bank for Kyle Turzak. Kyle, next week we got a week off, but 2 weeks from now we got the doubleheader at 5 Flags. How do you feel about your chances there?
I feel pretty good. I just won a $300 to win race there last week in street stock, so I got a lot of practice laps there, and hopefully we can go there and do the same thing that we did tonight.
Looking forward to it, Kyle. Again, congratulations, an awesome win here tonight. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I just want to thank you, all the league admins. We didn't have our league admin tonight, but Chris for holding down the fort, Chris for putting us on, all the league sponsors, and Zine Top Shop.
All right, Kyle. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
It's Kyle Turzak, your race winner once again. Almost sounds like he's getting tired of winning races. I don't know, but we'll find out. Neil Quick, our runner-up, he's next to come up into the broadcast booth. The driver of the number 2, it looks like a Miller Lite machine, but it's an RS12 Esports entry. Neil Quick, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got us?
Got you, Steve.
Neil, congratulations. A solid runner-up finish. You put the pressure on there late with Kyle Turzak. Got alongside for a time, but then some more cautions fell, some more restarts. Walk us through the closing laps of this one. Was there anything you could have done differently to reel in Kyle Turzak?
Have nitrous installed. Every time I got close or started making a little bit of ground on him, it's like he found that extra tenth or two that I was gaining on him. And when I got up side by side with him, it was just trying to carry the momentum. And I swear to God, it felt like he found another gear in that thing. I was watching him move down the straightaway, so I was just like kind of surprised too a little bit because he had a little bit of front end damage, and I think he was a little bit off on tires, a little bit worse on tires than I was too. So definitely leaving me scratching my head tonight, but congrats to him. He ran a great race. This is 6 in a row, so he must have been pulling out the Aaron Smith handbook again. So eventually us over here at IROC, we're going to burn that damn thing.
Sooner than later, we'll see. But as far as tires are concerned, I believe, did you take just right sides on that final stop at lap 169?
I did.
So the only difference, really, Turzak took rights as well. He did have that damage. It didn't seem to affect the car too terribly much. We saw it affect others. Yours looks pretty clean, so job well done there. We look forward, obviously, to the break next week, but in 2 weeks we have the doubleheader, the twin 125 races out at 5 Flags. What are your opinions on Five Flags with this late model stock? Is it something we can get a win in?
Yeah, absolutely. Got a couple all-star race wins there in the truck and Xfinity car, and really good in the late model there. So hopefully we can get the tide turned a little bit. Just been racing a little bit conservative, just to have something at the end, because I've been caught up in so much shit with these things. So to be honest, just to be there at the end and compete, that's the biggest thing I'm trying to do right now. So, but Kyle's put a big target on his butt, so we'll see what happens here the next couple weeks.
Hammer down at the next couple of races. Neil Quick, congratulations again on the runner-up finish. Who do you want to thank before I let you go?
Steve, you guys with broadcast, HBR TV is the best, of course. And then the guys we race with on Monday nights here, and admin and everybody that puts this together, allows us to race, and all the sponsors, RS12, all the guys that put in something here for us to race for. So appreciate everybody.
All right, Neil. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, Dio.
Neil Quick, your runner-up. Next, we'll talk to Brian McCann, driver of the number 3. Honestly, a great recovery for Brian McCann. He looked like he was in a position where he was going to be able to reel in Terzak and maybe challenge for that race win. Of course, it wasn't meant to be. That big wreck off of turn number 2 damaged the race car, hurt the track position. Well, let's get a word from Brian McCann, our third-place finisher. Brian, it's Steve in the booth. You got us?
Hey, I do.
Brian, congratulations, man. A great job at recovery here tonight. A third-place finish after that wreck off turn number 2. Didn't see that even coming after the fact. I thought your night might have been done, but you battled back. You didn't give up. You persevered, and then here you are, a top 3 finish. Walk us through your night and tell us about that incident, how it worked out, and how it damaged the race car.
Yeah, so I thought we had pretty good strategy. I gave up the stage points there, and I was really going for the win, and I knew the car that was going to be out in the lead, and track position is everything, and we were all about the same speed, so I really wanted that track position, but that got messed up. And then that wreck that happened, I forget who it was, blue car, got hooked into the wall, and I thought I had enough clearance, but man, did he hit that wall and just ricochet off of it and come back down and collect pretty much the whole field. And my car was really messed up. It was crab walking. Went into the pit several times. I even got the meatballs, so I had to get the required and then the optional, and it's like it was real close to even having a running car or not. And then somehow it drove okay-ish. It was still crab walking the whole rest of the race, but we put new tires on there close to the end, like 40 to go. And old Troy, he may not be too happy with me racing side by side, because I think he was a little bit quicker, but I was keeping him held down, and somehow I guess he wore his tire out, but that's how I got it to third.
Well, that's the way things go sometimes, especially late in the run. If you can maintain the position and force a guy to burn up his stuff trying to fight you. It worked out for you. He ended up relegated back to that 4th position. And I think you're right. Being on that bottom side might have just burned up his tires a little bit premature. As far as it crab walking, walk us through what that really means. There might be some viewers out there that don't necessarily understand it. I called it dog tracking, you call it crab walking. But what does that mean as a driver? What do you have to do to kind of overcome that while you're on the racetrack?
So going down the straightaway when the car normally is pointing straight and in a true line, that's driving good. Crab walking or dog leg like you're talking about, in this case my nose was pointed to the right and my rear was pointed to the left, so I was having to turn left going down the steering wheel straightaway to counter that. And in the turns it was kind of twitchy because it just wasn't driving right. But yeah, the car wasn't driving straight.
Well, Brian, you were able to make the adjustment and again finish there in that top 3 finish. A job well done. Congratulations. We got next week off, but then in 2 weeks, the twin 125s out at Five Flags. Again, Neil Quick seems confident. Kyle Terzak seems confident. How do you feel about a chance at a win at Five Flags? At least you got 2 chances the next race we go to.
I'm going to be honest, I can't really remember what track that is, but we're going to go out and give it our all. So, yeah, just hopefully it goes good for us.
All right, Brian, who do you want to shout out to?
Yeah, my family, everybody watching tonight, you doing a broadcast, league admin for putting this show on, our sponsors for making this happen. Check out the sponsors that are listening on the car here. And everybody just hanging out and chat with us, and the drivers, everybody who make it happen.
All right, Brian, thanks for talking to us. Congratulations again, and we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Brian McCann, your 3rd place finisher here from Bristol. Take a moment here. We'll get a look at our race results. Of course, we talked to our top 3, Kyle Terzak, Neil Quick, and Brian McCann. 4th place finisher was Troy Radford. 5th place belongs to Chris Wally. Oops. Sixth place finisher was Doug Wysocki. Larry Bruner was 7th. Tim Schofield finished in the 8th spot. Mike Cook was 9th. Zachary Cleek finished in the 10th spot. Matt Kopp was 11th. Jarrett Wiedner was 12th. Josh Stewart finished in the 13th position. Nuke Quick was 14th. Trevor Quick finished 15th. Adam Benefill was 16th. Brandon Mefford, a tough night for him after an incident involving Kyle Turzak, relegates Mefford to the 17th finishing position. Garrett Johnston comes home in the 18th spot. 19th went to Brian Rose after a wreck with multiple drivers involved there, Brett Butler being one of them. Butler finished 20th. Todd Cleek was 21st. And Josh Funkhauser finishing 22nd, 144 laps down out of this one, unfortunately for the 81, relatively early. So that'll wrap it up for us here at HBR TV, saying our congratulations to the 6th win of the season for Kyle Turzak. We'll see if he can make it maybe 7 and 8 here in a couple of weeks. Again, reminder, we are off next Monday night. They're taking a break here in the IROC Challenge Series, but stay with us. We've got other races throughout the week. We've got one more race this week. It'll be Thursday evening for the LSR Cup Series. No races on Wednesday as well. It's Valentine's Day, and we want to continue this hobby. We don't want to make the wives or girlfriends angry, so we take the night off and we let everybody do their thing. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. The stream chat on HBR TV side picked up. Thank you guys for tuning in there as well. IROC TV, thanks for joining us over on that side of things as well. Always appreciated. And please, if you haven't already done it, like the stream, help us out. If you're watching it still, smash that thumbs up. Also, check us out on the website, hbrtv1.com. Click the live tab the day of the live broadcast that you wish to see. So today's being Monday. Monday afternoon, click the live tab at hbrtv1.com, and it should take you right to the YouTube link, YouTube channel, so you can tune in and watch all the races there. Try to get those posted there in the afternoon at the latest, usually late morning if I can get to it. So with that said, again, congratulations to Kyle Turzak. Thank you guys all again for tuning in. That's going to wrap for us at HBR TV. We'll see you at the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.